If you're living in Kansas City already or moving here from somewhere else, at some point you type best suburbs in Kansas City into Google and you get hit with a wall of lists. Top 10 this, hidden gem that. None of it tells you what you actually want to know, which is where the money goes the furthest and where do I actually want to wake up every morning. So we're going to do something a little different. When people ask about the best suburbs in Kansas City on the Kansas side, two names come up over and over again in Johnson County, Leawood and Lenexa. So we're putting them head to head. Real numbers, real neighborhoods, real trade-offs. And I'll tell you right now, these two could not be more different. One of them, the typical home sold this year for over $750,000. The other you can get into for a couple $100,000 less and get more square footage doing it. Same county, same drive to downtown. There's also a tax thing at the end that catches people off guard all the time, where the cheaper house actually may end up costing more every month. I'll explain exactly how that happens, so stick around for that part, because it's maybe the kind of thing you want to know before you fall in love with a place, not after. Kansas City has a lot of great suburbs, and honestly, the best one is just whichever one fits you. But Leawood and Lenexa are two of the better options over in Johnson County, Kansas, and they pull two totally different kinds of buyers. So let's get into the why. Start with the money, because that's usually where the decision starts anyways, right? We pulled the actual sold numbers off the MLS. It's not a Zillow guess, the real closings. Over the last 6 months, the median home that sold in Leawood went for $777,000. In Lenexa, that number was $515,000. That's a difference of about $262,000. Leawood runs roughly 51% higher. And it's not just the sticker, it's the price per square foot. Leawood's closing around $247 a square foot on bigger homes. We're talking an average north of 3,700 square feet. Lenexa's closer to 208 a foot on homes averaging around 2,760 square feet. So in Leawood, you're paying more per foot and you're buying more square feet on average. It stacks. One more thing on both, and this matters if you're the one trying to buy. These markets are fast. Homes in Leawood are going under contract in a median of 3 days. Lenexa's at 9 days. So whichever way you go, you cannot sit around on a house you love. You've got to be ready. Now, let's make that price gap real, because a number on a screen doesn't mean much until you see what it buys. Take the same $600,000 and shop with it in both cities. Watch what happens. In Lenexa, $600,000 puts you above the median. You're shopping in the top third of the market. That's a newer home, usually 4 bedrooms, and it's got some size to it. You're looking at developments like Vista Village, Falcon Park, Manchester Park, Canyon Creek. Newer builds, reverse 1.5 stories, that kind of product. Now take that same exact $600,000 into Leawood. Now you're below the median. You just went from the top of one market to the bottom of another. In Leawood at that price, you're usually looking at an older, established home in one of the original sections, places like Leawood proper, Leawood South, Leawood Estates. Probably a 3 or 4 bedroom ranch, or maybe even a split, and honestly, it might need some updating. Same $600,000. In one city, it's a newer, bigger house near the growth. In the other, it's your entry ticket into a luxury market. Neither is wrong, but that's the trade you're making, and you should make it with your eyes wide open. So why would somebody pick Lenexa beyond just the price? 2 words, City Center. Lenexa City Center is a brand new downtown going up right now, and it's a big deal. It's a 69-acre development at 87th and Renner, built by a group called Copaken Brooks. This isn't a strip mall. They put the actual city hall down there, a rec center, the public library, a park university campus. When it's all built out, we're talking more than 2 million square feet, and it's still going. And here's the part that honestly makes me want to just go hang out down there. The whole thing is built around this indoor-outdoor patio vibe. Fire pits, open-air seating, restaurants that spill out into the sidewalks. It's the kind of place you'd go for dinner and just end up staying. The food is a real strength. Jack Stack has a location right in City Center, and it's got one of the biggest patios of any Jack Stack. That indoor-outdoor setup that fits the whole vibe of the place. The Lenexa Public Market is a food hall down there with local vendors, fire pits, and live music on Friday nights. And a personal one from me, Silo Modern Farmhouse over at Canyon Farms. Farm-to-table food, floor-to-ceiling windows looking out over the golf course, one of the best patios in the entire metro if you ask me. If you go to one place off this whole video, go there. I'll be straight with you on the one knock. Lenexa's a little light on shopping. The food scene is great, but if you're the kind of person who wants to go big name retail 5 minutes from the house, it's not really a thing in Lenexa yet. And that's the perfect setup for Leawood, because shopping is where Leawood just wins, flat out. You've got Town Center Plaza, Town Center Crossing sitting right there in Leawood. Over 100 stores between them. Restoration Hardware, Crate and Barrel, Apple, Trader Joe's, Anthropologie. Then right across the street, you've got Park Place, which is its own little walkable district. In the winter, they turn the center green into an ice rink they call the Ice. In the warmer months, there's live music out on the square. The dining over there holds up too. You've got 801 Chop House and Sullivan Steakhouse for a nice night out, Bristol Seafood right in town center. This is genuinely some of the best upscale shopping and dining in the whole Kansas City metro, and it's right there in Leawood. So that's the real difference between those two. Lenexa is the up-and-comer, newer homes, more house for the money, a downtown that's still being built. Leawood is the established one. It's already finished. Everything's already there, and you pay a premium for that. Let's talk schools, because this is where I see people make assumptions that get them in trouble. Both of these cities are split across more than one school district. That surprises people. Leawood is served by two, Blue Valley and Shawnee Mission. And the line between them doesn't follow some clean, obvious boundary. It changes street to street. Lenexa is split three ways across Shawnee Mission, DeSoto, and Olathe. On the ratings, I'm pulling these straight from Niche. Blue Valley comes in as the #1 rated district in the whole state of Kansas. Obvious. Shawnee Mission lands in the state's top 10 though, and DeSoto and Olathe schools that serve parts of Lenexa grade out in the A range as well. So there's strong options across the board here. But this is the thing I really want you to hear. You cannot assume the school district just from the city or even from the zip code. I've seen buyers fall in love with a house thinking it feeds into one district or one specific school, and it feeds a different one 2 streets over. So before you ever write an offer, just confirm the exact school assignment for that exact address. We can help check that for you, and we do that usually for our buyers on most deals if that's important to them, because it's just too big of a thing to guess on. Okay, the tax thing, I promise you. This is the one that gets people sometimes. Property taxes in both cities run between 1.1 and 1.4% of the home's value. So on that $600,000 house, you're roughly in the $6,600 to $8,400 range, and that's every year. I'm giving you a range on purpose though, because that's not one flat number. Your bill is really the county, the city, the school district, and something called special assessments all stacked together. And that last one is where it gets interesting. A lot of those brand new neighborhoods in Lenexa might carry some special assessments. Basically, when a developer builds out a new area, somebody's got to pay for the streets and the sewers and the infrastructure, and sometimes a lot of that cost gets passed on to the new homeowner as an assessment on the tax bill that lasts for several years or a decade. Those established Leawood neighborhoods, the ones that were built out decades ago, don't have that anymore. It's long since been paid off. So here's how that bites you. You could buy a cheaper house in Lenexa, feel great about that lower price, and then find out your monthly payment is actually higher than a more expensive house in Leawood because of that assessment that's riding on top. The sticker price fooled you. That's why on any new construction home, we can pull and confirm the special assessments before you make a move, before you make an offer. So you know your real monthly number up front, not after you've already signed. So which one's better? Lenexa, Leawood? Neither. I know that's not the clean answer you may have wanted, but it's the honest one. It comes down to who you are. Go Leawood if you want established and finished. You want the shopping and the restaurants right down the road, and you want the prestige, and the higher price is worth it to you for all of that. Go Lenexa if you want a newer home, more square footage for your dollar, and you like the idea of getting into an area that's still growing and building. Just do your homework on those assessments first. If you want to go deeper on other Kansas City suburbs, I've got a full playlist, Kansas City neighborhood deep dives and market updates. It'll be linked below. And I did a full breakdown on Overland Park versus Olathe that pairs perfectly with this one if you want to look at a couple more Johnson County suburbs. I'll link that one in the description as well. Real quick on why I even make these videos. I'm Joe Nelson, and I grew up right here in Kansas City. I spent 21 years in the Air Force, and I lead the Nelson Home Group, the highest rated real estate team on Google in the Kansas City metro. We do this because we actually want to help you make the right call for your family, whether that's Leawood, Lenexa, or one of the dozen other suburbs we didn't even get to today. If you're thinking about a move anywhere in Johnson County, reach out. 10 minutes on the phone can save you a lot of second guessing. I also put together a Kansas City relocation guide that lays out neighborhoods, prices, schools, some commute times, in a way that no search engine's gonna hand it to you. It's on our website, sign up, and it comes to you free automatically. Bottom line, the best suburb in Kansas City isn't Leawood and it isn't Lenexa. It's whichever one fits your budget, your family, and the life you're trying to build. If you want help figuring out which one is the one for you, that's exactly what we're here for. Let's get to work.